The lamps of Rome burn low, their wicks trembling in a winter wind that seems to carry whispers from every corner of the empire. Cobblestones gleam under scattered torchlight. Rainwater gathers in silent pools. Merchants close their shutters early. Senators hurry beneath raised hoods. And in the darkened barracks, the Praetorian Guard polish helmets that may soon glint in blood rather than bronze. For the first time in a century, the marble throne stands empty. The old Linda, Julio-Claudian line, has snapped like a bowstring. And with its breaking, the calm surface of imperial order shatters into widening rings of doubt. Tonight, the empire is leaderless, but not voiceless. From the Rhine to the Euphrates, 4 names rise like rival constellations: Galba, Otho, Vitellius, Vespasian. For men, for ambitions, for claims to one fragile world crown. Their legions march through mud and snow, each banner promising stability, each sword tip glinting with a different future. Yet, to a hushed city, stability feels as distant as the stars themselves. In Spain's dusty highlands, the governor, Servius Sulpicius Galba, receives the Senate's summons. He is 68 stooped, austere, his face a map of wrinkled discipline. Threads of silver hair frame features carved by years of service. A straight, uncompromising nose. Eyes that weigh without warmth. He slips into a brittle suit of authority as easily as he once donned a legionary S-cloak. And soon his standard, the proud bull of Hispania, begins its long march toward Rome. His approach feels less like a triumph and more like the hiss of quenched iron. Galba distrusts luxury. He dismisses Nero's musicians and closes the palace baths. He parades virtue, but cloaks it in ice. The treasury, drained by Nero's excesses, lies bare. Galba refuses the customary donative that rewards the Praetorian Guard for backing a new emperor. In candlelit barracks, angry whispers coil into plots. Justice, Galba tells the Senate, is not for sale, but power, the Guard reminds him, often is. In the Forum, on a brittle January morning, a lone trumpet blares. Boot, thunder. Within heartbeats, Galba lies sprawled across the paving stones, toga blooming crimson. The Stoic has ruled 7 months. His blood needs only 7 breaths to cool. Amid the rising clamor, Marcus Salvius Otho steps forward. Once a companion too Nero famed for perfume, parties, and a curled lacquer hairstyle, Otho now paints himself in urgent hues of salvation. He promises back pay, lavish games, a softer face of empire. Praetorians hail him. The Senate capitulates. Triumphal arches sprout with fresh garlands, and for a moment Rome's pulse steadies. Yet across the Alps, the legions of Upper Germania stamp their frozen earth. They have declared for their own commander, Aulus Vitellius, a portly general who offers feasts instead of speeches, indulgence instead of austerity. Wine drips from his whiskers as he toasts a throne he has not yet touched. Otho's couriers plead for loyalty. Germania's veterans answer with marching boots. Snow dissolves into spring mud. In April of 69 CE, two Roman armies meet at Betriacum, near the cool curve of the Po River. Tents fill the fields like a patchwork of canvas seas. Before dawn, trumpets screech, vultures circle. The battle is swift, brutal, brother against brother. By evening, Otho's lines fold. He returns to his tent, writes a calm farewell to his friends, and drives a dagger neatly beneath his breastbone, one final gesture to spare Rome a second slaughter. He has worn the purple 3 months. His departing words are soft with regret. Let another save the state. Into the vacuum strides Vitellius, flanked by standards heavy with northern mud. He has the girth of easy appetites, eyes half-hooded in perpetual drowsiness. His banquets begin at dusk and stretch through dawn. Flamingo tongues glazed in honey, eels stuffed with pheasant, wine poured from amphoras instead of jugs. Senators jockey for seats. Petitioners wait, unheard, at the palace gates. But indulgence is expensive. Debts swell. The Rhine front murmurs. The Danube stirs. In Judea, an older, sterner name gathers momentum: Titus Flavius Vespasianus, veteran of Claudius' invasion of Britain, now crushing a stubborn revolt in Jerusalem. Where Vitellius feasts, Vespasian fasts beside his soldiers. Where Vitellius lisps, promises to every flatterer, Vespasian speaks few words, but holds every promise iron-bound. When Egyptian grain fleets pledge themselves to Vespasian, Rome's bakeries run short. Bread lines stretch like fissures across the city's heart. Senators grow pale. The guard grows restless again. Seeing the scales tilt, Vespasian's ally, Antonius Primus, leads Danubian legions westward. Outside Betriacum again imperial fate is staked on open field. Vitellius' troops break. His supporters scatter like startled starlings. Back in Rome, marble porticos echo with panic. Vitellius hides in the imperial dog kennel, wrapped in dirty curtains. Dragged before a jeering mob, he begs only that they spare his cat. They do not spare him. His reign, measured in roasted peacocks and squandered gold, ends beneath a gardener's hook. Vespasian's cloak, as he crosses the threshold of the Domus Tiberiana. He carries no delicate cosmetics, no jeweled scepter, only the calm gravity of a career soldier who has seen cities rise and bury themselves in their own ashes. At 60, his forehead is broad, his eyes watchful, his smile a rare flicker that never quite frees itself from suspicion. He begins not with pageants, but ledgers, balancing budgets, rebuilding aqueducts, reviving provincial roads. Where Nero carved artificial lakes for pleasure, Vespasian drains them to plant wheat. He doubles the taxes on public urinals, laughing that money does not smell. In the Senate, murmurings of his humble birth fade beneath proof of competence. Then, on the charred remains of Nero's pleasure complex, he sketches a circle. From that circle rises something entirely new. A people's arena, an amphitheatrum, Flavian what later ages will call the Colosseum. Its foundations swallow the despised lake. Its limestone skeleton ascends course by measured course. Stonecutters chip at dawn. Masons hammer until moonrise. Pulleys creak against the heavens. Romans gather daily to watch the bones of their coming wonder knit themselves skyward hope, mortared into travertine. By the time Vespasian dies peacefully in 79 C. E. cracking a final joke that an emperor ought to die on his feet as he struggles upright, looks different, feels sturdier. Vaulted ceilings no longer echo with drunken shrieks, but with the rhythmic footfalls of architects. Senate clerks and grain clerks tallying Egypt's harvest. The Flavian Dynasty has set its first stone, and beneath it the empire exhales. Yet power, like the Tiber, forever flows onward. Vespasian's sons, Titus and Domitian, wait in the wings, one gentle as spring rain, the other sharp as a winter shard. Beyond Rome's walls, Vesuvius broods, and, to the north, restless tribes test wooden palisades. But, for tonight, the city drifts towards sleep under a dome of quiet stars. Torches gutter lower. The Colosseum's rising arches cast curved shadows across the moon-washed ground. Listen, do you hear it? The hush before a new chapter, the slow heartbeat of empire returning to rhythm. Let the marble cool beneath your fingertips. Feel the dust of a civil war settle into silence. In our next watch, we will walk those cooling streets with Titus, Domitian, and the builders of monuments eternal. For now, rest in the gentle afterglow of a crisis survived and a dynasty born.